Hi everyone, welcome to this masterclass. This masterclass is all about trusting ourselves. How do we trust ourselves? And how do we come back to a state where we're not exhausted, we're not feeling chaotic within us, and there is absolute certainty that things will work out. And that all comes back to trusting ourselves. And let me take you a little bit of a journey, maybe 3 years ago or so, and talk about that experience and what it truly felt like for me. So back in the days, I used to be this girl, really shy, super shy. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how to even speak up or stand up for myself. I would let people walk over me. I don't even have that authority within me to be like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. And not even that, but even just the fact of communicating myself and speaking up and what that really meant. So, speaking up for me was one of the most actually like challenges. Um, Because I would think to myself, well, nobody even cares to listen. Nobody even cares to even ask, like, what do I like? Am I interested in something? It was always about others. So there was little to no space for me to be expressive or to even stand up and say, this is what I'm rooting for. This is how I felt. This is how you made me feel. And I was really shy to even speak that because I didn't think I was worthy to be listened to, right? So it's all linked to feeling worthy, feeling enough, feeling like I can take up space. And I talk more about this on my podcast, The Grace Within. If you want to tune in, I will actually drop in the link below. And what this life is offering is not for us to come and just think about ourselves, but also be able to receive. So, can you be in a space where you can give and also receive at the same time? My difficulties back then was that there was, this thing of I can't receive. It's like whenever someone does something nice, I'll be like, oh my God, it's a burden, or oh my God, you shouldn't have done that. I can figure it out and I have it all, put together. You don't really need to help me because I got this. When deep down, I'm actually screaming and be like, no, I do need it. Because I was really fearful to step into that person, I was really scared to even be seen. What is being seen? What does it mean when we are being seen? Is it like actually standing in front of a stage or being loud? Not really. Well, I used to think that in the past. Well, speaking up or having people look at me is something that gives me permission to be myself and that external validation for me to be like, yes, this is who I am. And it was so unhealthy that I was seeking it from other people and I was depending on them to give me or to show me my worth. When really it was me stepping into the person I want to become, meaning that I needed to speak, I needed to get out there, I need to be uncomfortable doing new things and going into change and, having that courage. And that courage didn't come from the air, it's something you build within you. That the more you try something new, the more you put yourself out, and the more you know and have clarity of who you are. So many of us walk this planet. We say yes when we mean no. And we find it so difficult to even say that. But we think that, someone is going to dislike us because we didn't like them, or, it's going to say something about us, it's going to mean something about us. This is where it becomes like a cycle of people pleasing, of not standing up, of settling for less, of just feeling like nobody actually understands me. What if I told you that this was an old story that you needed to let go of, that you needed to experience a different you? The other day, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory since I like sharing stories. I was in a call with one of my clients, right? And she has told me that she's so scared to let her old self go. So, she was in the field of dance and performance and arts, and that's where she found herself, right? Feeling confident, feeling seen, and feeling like she can be in her body and herself. She was playful and feeling, this inner freedom to be whoever because she was expressive and she wasn't really actually herself. It was her, that artistic energy taking over. And she's in a different journey now, but she still loves dance. She still loves to go out there. She still loves to, perform, but it's not something she wants to do professionally. She just wants to do it for fun. Because doing something professionally means there is pressure and there's this expectation of you to be perfect. Then she told me that I'd love to do it, but not professionally. And I said to her, well, what is that giving you? Why do you feel like you lost yourself? She said to me that she lost herself. She feels so scared to lose herself in that, to lose herself in that part of her while she was describing it, the confident part, the joyous part. She felt like she lost that confidence. This is why she was not letting go of all things, and she would keep like her costumes by her side, and she feel like it's just causing a lot of mess in the environment because in order for us to declutter, sorry, not declutter, in order for us to invite the new version of us, doesn't mean it's not you. It's just that you are shedding away things, versions of you, maybe even habits, unhealthy behaviors, relationships. She was shedding all of that and she thought that she actually had lost herself, or she lost or will lose herself by actually, waving goodbye to the old version of her. The version of her that loved performance, that used to like play. What I told her in that moment, I took her, into a internal exercise and, a meditative process. What I realized and what we discovered in that call is that she was afraid, really afraid to detach because she thought that that profession gave her an identity. And that if she can't perform, if she won't do that for, for the rest of her life, that means she has lost herself. And that is all linked to confidence, self-esteem, and feeling complete within without having something attached to you to make you feel like you're worthy or enough. And obviously, within my calls, there is no judgment. I only take them through those processes so that they can see, really see, and not think about who they are, that it really wasn't about the profession. It's about how she felt while she was dancing, how she felt while there was people around her that were looking at her. And because she has experienced not being seen and heard in her childhood, that makes absolute sense that this is something she wants to be attached to. How can we flip this and look at it in a different way? At the end, it's not something or it's not anyone to actually, help you feel confident. It's you doing things repeatedly every day, showing up, taking action, committing. While I still struggle with that myself as a coach, There are times where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't want to commit. And I feel all over the place that I'm like, who am I? Like, who's this person of me? Who's this version of me who's not committing? And I would feel lost. So I'm human, guys. It's something that every single person goes through, no matter what profession, no matter what status, where you are, what profession, how much money you have. It doesn't really matter. I'm a coach and I still experience these things. And being a, coach my entire life, not professionally before this, it was all like that. It was all me trying to explain or almost show someone a way for them to see what they're not seeing within them. Because I back then didn't see what was within me until I stepped into the person that I wanted to become. But what did I have to do is shed away all that I wasn't. The expectations, the cultural aspects, beliefs were huge, and letting them go. And I'm not afraid. I think there was a point in my life where I was so afraid to let them go because I thought I was so strong, right? I had this strength within me to, when I used to wear my headscarf and there were like a lot of things I was attached to, and I was like, well, like, this is actually my identity. My headscarf was my identity, right? That was everything I relied on. Till I realized I was actually hiding beneath it, that I was hiding the beautiful, incredible, smart person that I am. And I made that my identity. I was like, you know what? I'm nothing without that headscarf, or I'm nothing without my culture, or I'm nothing without my religion. Well, I don't like to speak about religion. I like to really be involved in studies of living life. What is my soul? What does it feel like? It doesn't matter how I look. While that was everything to me, like I just struggled with even loving my body and how I looked. I'd wake up every day, in front of the mirror. This was back then, like before I had my routines and structure and working on myself, on my body, and shedding away things that wasn't me. Just feeling miserable and depressed every single day. And now I came to a point where I don't actually have to lean or suppress myself. That to me, suppression is not even something I really want to do. It's a choice again. And sometimes it's a learned behavior that in our past we used to suppress our emotions. But how do we let it go? How do we let it come through us and accept that it's a part of us that we need to feel and experience? And I'm saying all this from my own personal journey of suppressing, denying, feeling depressed, feeling like I didn't have a choice, feeling hopeless. Hopeless was a state that I needed to get out of in order for me to experience everything that I am today. For me to actually close my eyes and ask myself, who am I? Without the whatever, without the too much makeup or without the clothes, without my scarf. Who the hell am I? I didn't even sit and ask that to myself because I was so afraid to know who is behind that. I was afraid to actually see what's beneath all the conditioning and what people had said about me because that feels scary. It's goddamn scary. Yep. Imagine you experience yourself at a different level, knowing and stepping into the courage of even just asking, who am I? What do I love? What do I not like? How do I speak? What do I enjoy? What are emotions I've suppressed? Where am I in my life not being intentional with what I'm creating? It's all leading or going back to fear, always. It always was about fear. They're so afraid to just be so loud. No, you should be quiet. You should be soft. You can't speak that loud or they're gonna listen to you or they're gonna see you and whatever. Whatever it is, that's a story. That's my story, for example. What's yours? Let me know in the comments. What's your story? How do you want to rewrite your story? And all of this is coming back to compassion, which is something I teach and preach and live every day, live by. How do we authentic? How do we so real in who we are? Why are we all so robotic? Why do we pretend we don't care when we actually do? When you care about something, why don't you just own it and say that you actually do? Why do their opinion matter more than what you feel and your own value? Why would you place your value onto someone else's perceptions and ideas of you? Imagine down the line what that will make you believe about yourself. This is not a motivation woo-woo thing. It speaks to what you truly want and why is it important to you. I feel goosebumps right now talking about this because of how far we can actually come, how far our journey can evolve, but we never truly see. We don't really see the person that we are because we're like, yeah, let's suppress. It's easy to suppress. It's easy to let people walk and be quiet and please everyone. But is that really your truth? And how far and how long you're actually going to live like this, pretending? Sorry, guys. I cry about every single thing, and everyone knows this about me. I'm so sensitive, and that's what makes us human. And just being emotional about things that we care about and communicating and saying what we truly feel and stop the suppression. Depression is not out there to get you. You're choosing to go there because there's always another path to that, which is healing aspects of you and deciding that I know I don't want to live this every day. And you don't have to, right? And you don't have to do it by yourself. Absolutely. So part of knowing yourself and discovering who you are and having compassion with yourself, it's the first pillar is actually connection. Connecting back to the lost or connecting back to the far aspect of you, the one you just abandoned somewhere along the line of life because you thought it wasn't important. But I'm here to tell you that every single thing you feel, everything that you're experiencing, it matters heck a lot. And I mean it when I say it. So stop abandoning yourself. I guess that's the moral of this whole masterclass. Stop abandoning. Start living authentically. Empowering yourself to stand up when things are wrong. That you have a voice. I know women, we've been told that we don't and that we can't. What are they going to think? Let them think whatever they want. At the end, you're living your life. You're the one who's going to decide. Taking permission from anyone is not going to help. You have the authority to believe in what you want and to say what you feel. And if someone's not willing to see that and feel it, sorry, to see it and take you in that space, that's just not your people. So why don't you just let it go instead of letting yourself go? Right? So I hope this was valuable and helpful. I hope this light up something or lit up something in you that I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I was just feeling it. Whatever. So don't suppress, don't deny, don't abandon. There's always a choice. And I'm not saying this to just say it, but I'm making a mission to actually get you unstuck and start living your truth and knowing who you are. And that starts by willingness and having the courage to step into your most beautiful and authentic self. All right, that was it. Looking forward to any questions or feedback or comments about anything. And yeah, until next time.